One observation from my own research, which may help us understand why these seemingly unimplementable and somewhat unrealistic agendas are adopted, is the fact that they make the work of problem definition so much easier. Agenda setting politically is very much about defining problems. What is the most pressing problem that policymakers should be aware of and should do something about? And defining a problem usually entails a number of steps, but most importantly, you need to compare a situation that you find problematic to a normal situation in order to describe it as a problem. And there's also other steps like identifying groups of victims, the causes of the problem, and also point to responsible actors and authorities whose job it is to solve it. And what makes it easier for interest groups and policy entrepreneurs and problem definers within development and aid is that the first step of comparison does not necessarily entail comparing a situation to a normal situation, but to a norm set by the international society. After all, for many low-income countries, the normal situation is characterized by many problems in education, in health, related to income, etc. So within aid and development, it's not very effective to compare what is happening to what is normally happening. The comparison won't be that effective. They need to compare the situation, I think, to the situation in rich countries, for example, or even better, if they can compare the situation in low-income countries to the ambitions in the development agenda of the international community. As we've seen, the 2030 norm, the SDGs, they include ending hunger and reaching a stage in world history where there's no violence and we're all free of fear, where there's universal literacy, every person on earth can enjoy their full rights and our shared prosperity, etc. So when you have this supremely ambitious international agenda as a norm, it makes the job of portraying any situation in the global south, or even in Norway for that sake, as problematic and thus worthy of the politicians' attention, because it's so far from what the UN and the world has agreed on. And finally, as everyone, including the private sector, academia, civil society, are now responsible for this agenda, these somewhat messy multi-stakeholder partnerships, it makes also the job of pointing to some kind of authority, responsible authority, easier as well, because it's everyone's business now. We all need to step up. So these were just some of the insights from theories of policy making, agenda setting, policy circulation, that may help us explain why these global policy frameworks, such as the SDGs, spread around the globe